I can't resist. I've got to add my own 2 cents to Craig Carton taking down this goblin man and LeBron fans in general. All right, sit back. I'm going to break this into 2 parts. Here is part 1.
50 billion points, a lot of points.
I
had no idea it was that many.
Insufferable.
Insufferable. Thank you. That is a fantastic word to describe LeBron James and LeBron James's insecurity bag, the big, heavy bag of insecurity that LeBron James lugs around with him every day of his life. Where have they kept this guy locked up at? Why are we just now hearing this sort of truth?
But really, we're complaining about anonymous dudes in their basements that are trolling you, and that really bothers you.
With someone with a 22-year career, you have to have learned by now not to react to everything. And this guy reacts to everything. It's just incredible. In fact, I think he reacts more as time goes on and his insecurity bag gets heavier, dragging him down because he knows his career is built on a lie.
And you're asking Steve Nash to agree with you and Fat Luca to be like, you're the best, you have 50 billion points, you're the crush. That's why he's just insufferable.
Remember when LeBron James lunged at the female fan sitting courtside and then tried to get other guys on the court to like get in on it or like commend him that he got a woman scared of his 6'9", 250-pound ass lunging at her, and no one would pay attention to him? Hey, the fact that they ignored him is one thing, but the fact that he needed to run and get validation, he always needs validation, and that's what all of his TV shows and all of his podcasts are. Even his award speeches, his acceptance speeches, he still has to show his insecurity and beg for validation or tell people that he is validated. Just announce his own validation, which makes it all the more unbelievable. And all of this equals exactly what this man is saying: insufferable. How dare you waste your teammates' time, Luca, sitting around listening to your therapy sessions? Come on. Shouldn't he be working out somewhere, dropping some pounds? Steve Nash, God, the number of your former fans that you've lost from your disgusting antics on here, being LeBron's therapist. But judgment of Luca, judgment of Nash aside, the bottom line is that this is what LeBron wants. This is LeBron's show, and it's his idea to have 2 people to come on and make him feel better about somebody trolling him about not having a bag. Remind me what Giannis's response was when people were saying that he didn't have a bag. Huh? He stayed in the MVP conversation. He didn't succumb to becoming like everyone else and just jacking up 3-pointers that nobody wanted to see him shoot. He kept playing his game, and frankly, people were happy about it.
And even his highly paid media members who cover for him every week for 52 weeks a year, as long as he's on the planet.
And the amount of truth spilling out of this guy on this show is more truth than I feel like I've heard in the last 15 years. And the crazy thing is that it's not even arguable, because some of these media members have come out, or it's been exposed, that they are on the Clutch payroll. It was obvious enough by how they were constantly covering for LeBron, but then we find out, yeah, we're on the payroll.
You know, eat that crap up. It's disgusting to me. And that's why he'll never be Michael Jordan. Ugh, okay. I see it all the time on social media. LeBron doesn't have a bag. No, you just have more finals losses than a human being on the planet. Sorry, not sorry. You've done nothing in LA. You can't win without having a super team. No one counts that championship.
Bubble in a cup. Bubble in a cup. All you brought LA was a bubble and a cup. Yep, nobody counts that except for LeBron fans, LeBron apologists. Everyone knows it's a joke. We've got to stop calling it a championship. We got to stop saying that he's 4-6. He's 3-6 at best, and I don't even think that is correct.
And keep complaining about all the lack of pieces you have year after year after year.
This is an evisceration, and it's 100% true. Like, fanboys, I know that you're scrambling, but the thing is, this is every single season that he doesn't deliver. It's a new complaint. Just try to assemble a crazy, crazy roster and then explain afterward. After they predict your team to do well, everybody goes in reverse and is like, oh, that was actually a terrible roster. Year after year after year. Not once in his career. Repeatedly.
When you're another one-and-done situation at a gentleman's sweep in the playoffs, everyone says, I don't have a bag. Then shut everybody up, find a bag, and go win a title.
Thank you. The best way to shut people up is with your actions, not your words, not explaining things away on your multiple podcasts. Go get a bag. Go find a bag and shut everyone up. Which for LeBron translates to go find other players that are better than you are. That's his bag. And then take the credit after they lift your sorry ass.
Which you won't do in LA.
Well, he's had 4.
He hasn't. He hasn't. We're going to stop saying that he has 4 because it's a lie. He does not have 4. He does not have 4. And every single one that you are willing to count has a big, fat, juicy asterisk. Not even a small asterisk, a gigantic asterisk next to every single one that you do think he has. Anyway, I guess this is professional media where Craig Carton now keeps his mouth shut and lets this goblin on the right say his bit, because he doesn't stop him when he turns around and says that LeBron has 4 chips, which if he, wanted to be like Shannon Sharp and yell over the top of Skip Bayless, he could just start yelling again and shut down the other person, but he stays quiet for a little bit.
Okay. There's a lot there. He obviously has a bag. He's the all-time leading points getter.
And he also made that record meaningless because of the disgusting way by which he went about achieving those points. It doesn't mean anything anymore.
Like, all the time. So, we can do some facts here.
Stat
as if LeBron needs to. Okay, well, I got a lot for you then, Craig. Okay. He's 2 3-pointers away from passing Reggie Miller.
Does anyone think LeBron James is a better 3-point shooter than Reggie Miller at any point in all 22 years of LeBron's career? Fanboys, do you even know who Reggie Miller is? Oh, right, you do, because now Reggie Miller has a career sucking LeBron off.
For all-time 3-pointers made. When Reggie Miller retired, he was number 1 in 3-pointers made. LeBron is going to pass
fair,
him.
he's also played 1,000 more games.
Which is part of his skill set.
Okay. A lot to unpack there. There's a lot there. To sound like the goblin. The most obvious thing is how many more games LeBron James has played. And if he keeps playing, they're going to keep tacking on these meaningless stats. But that's the easiest one, but I think my point is actually more substantial. He could end up hitting 1 billion 3-pointers, or 50 billion as LeBron would say, and it wouldn't make him a better 3-point shooter. He'll have just taken more and eventually made more because he won't fucking go away. Again, I didn't have kids. I still go to the gym. I still get to play. The rest of the guys are taking their kids to ballerina class or whatever, while I go keep racking up points. I am the all-time points leader at the gym because I keep playing. Does that make me the best player that was ever there? I'm not a 3-point shooter, but I do shoot them. And unless I break my leg, I'm going to have the 3-point record too, as long as I go and keep shooting them for the next 5 years.
More games.
Which is part of his skill set, availability.
That is not a skill. It's an asset. That's nice. You like to have someone on your squad. Well, actually, he gets hurt throughout the season. He just has overall stayed in the league for a long time. So I don't even know if you get to count that one. And you're going to put that, is that in LeBron's bag? Is that LeBron's bag, availability? Which, by the way, he's not available against Giannis.
But if you want to do percentages, higher field goal percentage on drives to the basket. LeBron James, higher than Anthony Edwards and Ja Morant this year at 40.
Why did he choose those guys? I mean, Ja Morant just flings himself through the air, hoping something will work out. I don't expect a high percentage there. And, hey, ref, Edwards? No. But you have to ask yourself why he specifically chose those two players. And I looked it up and I have the answer for you. But before we even get to that, remember that when a ref bails somebody out and they miss the shot but get to shoot free throws, it does not go down in the record books as a shot attempt. It does not hurt their shooting percentage. So every single time that the whistle blows for LeBron James, when it should not blow, they are preserving his shot percentage when he is driving. The rest of the time, no one's touching him. He's getting alley-oops. He's making layups during garbage time when nobody's playing defense anymore. It's embarrassing. And it loops right back to what I said earlier. We don't respect the all-time points leader because of the way that he got the majority of his points, which also ties into the stat that this guy's trying to use. Well, how did you get the points is more important than the points themselves. But let's look at the other thing I found here. It's funny. Let's start with a guy who is also accused of not having a bag, Giannis. Giannis's drives, his field goal percentage is 60%, 10% higher than the LeBron James field goal percentage that this guy's bragging about. Even with all the help from the league, even with LeBron taking 7 steps to get to the rim, even with LeBron cherry picking, even with LeBron taking garbage time layups, even with no one being allowed to touch LeBron James, he is 10% behind Giannis. Naturally, you don't want to bring up Giannis, do you? That's a cherry-picked stat by a LeBron lover that Craig Carton calls him out for being, and rightfully so. Jokic, 57.6% in the same category. SGA, 51.9%. So now you understand why he chose who he chose. They're names you would recognize, but also names that he carefully looked up, came in behind LeBron James's already bullshit stat.
Have a bag, score in the isolation.
Let's be clear. What you call isolation is LeBron James being alone at the other end because he didn't get back on defense.
Higher isolation percentage success rate than Luka Doncic.
Well, Luka's fat.
This
Oh, man. Well, Luka's fat. If anyone thinks that LeBron can get his shot better than Luka can get his shot, come on. What world are you on? In fact, the clutch media, I made a video about this. They screwed up and were like, oh, you need to keep switching LeBron. You need to switch LeBron onto, the smaller guy. Well, that's what he always does. You guys just keep making the defender that LeBron's in charge of smaller and smaller and smaller. This is the ISO ball that you're bragging about. LeBron James using illegal moves, offensive fouls on smaller people in order to sometimes make it to the rim. And even then, you don't know if he's just going to throw it off the other side of the backboard because of a Balco malfunction.
Year. Like, this guy is an excellent offensive player.
Yeah, that face pretty much says it all. All right, we're gonna cut it there. I think we'll do a part 1, part 2.